Thank you for your interest in the Credential Training Program. This webinar will provide general information about the program. The Credential Training Program became a viable program in 2024 to assist employers in upscaling their workforce with the credentials needed within their industry. This program is funded by the Upskill Credential Training Fund and administered by Missouri One Start, the workforce training division within the Missouri Department of Economic Development. Workforce can be new employees, current employees, or prospective employees. Employers could be reimbursed up to $2,000 for each employee who obtains credentials, provided that no qualifying employer receives more than $30,000 in a fiscal year, which is July 1 through June 30. Qualifying employer is any employer registered to do business in the state of Missouri, provided the employer is not a public body and agrees to sponsor a current or prospective Missouri employee to obtain a credential within 12 months of the preliminary award letter. Public body is any department, division, commission, board, or public subdivision of the state of Missouri, but is not limited to the institutions of post-secondary education that offer required courses and training necessary for an employee to obtain their credentials. Public body shall not include any facility that meets the definition of a hospital, any long-term care facility licensed under Chapter 198, or any public hospital established and maintained under Chapter 205. Eligible applicants will apply for the Credential Training Program by using Submittable, an online application software. Links to Submittable can be found on page 5 under Section 7 of the program guidelines. New users to Submittable will need to sign up for an account. Those who already have a Submittable account will simply need to sign in using their email and password. Please note that Submittable allows for only one open application per email address at a time. The Credential Training Program has 4 application periods per fiscal year. First one, July 1 through July 31st. Second, October 1 through October 31st. Third, January 1 through January 31st. And the last one is April 1 through April 30. Since this program is new in fiscal year 2025, the October 1 through October 31st application period will be the first for this fiscal year. Applicants can apply once per application period, depending on their training need. Qualifying employers can apply for the Credential Training Program during the application periods and may only submit one application per application period. Remember, the max is $2,000 per employee, and the max for an employer is $30,000 per fiscal year. Here is a visual of the fiscal year and when each application period opens, when the team reviews the applications, and when the employer should expect to receive the preliminary award letters via email. Our unit will provide a preliminary award letter identifying the credential approved for reimbursement. The amount the employer's contribution for an approved credential will be only reimbursed if the credential is successfully earned, and the employer submits all required documents in the application portal Submittable. The required documents for reimbursement include proof from the individual that they are a Missouri resident, and a list of possible documentation is on page 12 of the program guidelines, and the verification form verifying the credential was earned, the invoice from the relevant authority, and the proof of payment for the credential. The way reimbursement will be sent depends on how the employer is set up in MoBuys/movers. The reimbursement can be in form of a paper check or direct deposit. MoBuys/movers is the state system for procurement processes. Until summer 2025, employers who are not already registered will need to register with both MoBuys and movers. What kind of credential are approved? Healthcare, technology, and any other credential that is necessary for improving the skills of employees. But the credential must be issued under a relevant authority. Relevant authority is any state accredited public or private educational institution, industry association, government or similar department, commission, board, body, bureau, agency, authority, or administrative body at a national or local government level authorized to approve credentials. For example, Red Cross with CPR certification, American Welding Academy with welding certification, and Microsoft with computer certificates. So relevant authorities are the Red Cross, American Welding Academy, and Microsoft. The credential training program is competitive, and the Missouri One Start staff will score each application on the following criteria. First one is the amount the employer contributes towards the cost of credential. If the credential costs $1,000 and the employer pays $1,000, they will score higher. If the employer only pays $500 of the $1,000 credential, the employer will score lower. The reimbursement amount will only be for the amount the employer pays. Second score, the average wage increase for the employee after gaining the credential. Prospective or current employee makes $15 an hour, but after receiving the credential, that employee will now make $20 an hour. Third score will be level of economic distress in the employer's region. Economic distress has categories and points, and they're connected to the category, such as low economic distress is 1 point, low to moderate is 2 points, moderate economic distress is 3 points, moderate to high is 4 points, and high economic distress is 5 points. See economic distress map in your program guidelines. For example, Cole County is categorized to have a low to moderate economic distress, and it sits at 2 points. Another competitive item which only takes place during quarters 3 and 4, which application periods are January and April, is if a region on the Missouri economic distress map receives more than 5% of the awarded amount for certifications. So far, they will not be considered priority. This is so the money can be equally spread upon the regions in the state of Missouri. Therefore, if a region has not received up to 5% of the awarded amount for certifications, those employers in that region will be considered priority. Remember, this only takes place during quarters 3 and 4. To complete the application and submittable, please read the instructions closely before starting and have the following documents handy. The letter of good standing from the Missouri Secretary of State's office, your Missouri tax ID number, your federal identification number, your E-Verify registration and MOU, a tax clearance from the Department of Revenue, leadership and ownership information form completed, but that's only if you are privately held or not-for-profit corporation. Mobi/Movers ID. You've completed the credential training program grant agreement. You've completed the employer credential verification form. Once your application has been received, you can check the status of your application at the My Submissions page and Submittable. For more information on the credential training program, please visit our website at MissouriOneStart.com. Again, all spelled out, MissouriOneStart.com. Thank you for viewing this webinar to learn more about this new program that has started in October. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, please contact us.